Okay, good morning class. So today we'll start with the topic of arrays. Okay? In C we'll learn what is array, how it works and what are its benefits and many more we'll see, right? Now, what is array? Array is one of the most important, or you can say it is one of the important data structure in C programming. It is simple, fast way of storing multiple values under a single name. This single name is what I have said just now. Single name is very important. This you will learn in further of the slides. In this article, we'll study the different aspects of array in C, such as array, declaration, 1, definition, 2, its initialization, 3, types of array, 4, array syntax, 5, advantages and disadvantages, 6. Okay. Now let's first see what is array. An array is a fixed size collection of similar data. This is also very important in this. Items stored in a continuous memory. This is also very important. And it can be used to store the collection of primitive data types such as int, char, float, etc. And also drive the user-defined data types such as pointers, structures, and etc. Right? Now, we have seen that here it is written, an array is a C and fixed size collection of similar data type. So, C array is a, first point is, array is a data structure. Right? Important point is, it is data structure. Second point is, being a data structure, it stores the memory in continuous form. ठीक है, ये क्या करता है, मेमोरी को स्टोर करता है इन अ कंटिन्यूअस वे, राइट. थर्ड इज, इट इज होमोजेनियस इन नेचर. Homogeneous in nature, right? Right. Fourth is, it's a data structure, continuous, homogeneous in nature, and homogeneous means similar. ठीक है, and it is user defined. Now, what all these 4 points says, let's understand. This is one of the data structure which stores the memory in a continuous way, like this, as you can see. Okay, and it is, the continuous memory is defined under the single name, whatever the name which is provided by the user. But here you can see that it is array, or you can define anything. Let's say ARR, array. Or you can say A, or you can say B, whatever. It's a user defined. But here you can see it's a continuous memory allocation with starting with this address 0. These are the elements. This is the memory, and these are the indexes. Indexes means, okay? Indexes means locations. Memory locations. Memory location where you put the element inside that memory. That memory, the elements which occupy the memory, that is, here is known as indexes, or you can say a address of that element, right? Now, array is, these are the elements, this is the name you have provided, and this is the indexes, or you can say locations in a memory. But now, the very important thing which you have to see here is that it's a continuous memory. As I told you, data structure, but it's a continuous memory. See, continuous. 0, 1, 2, 3. Not like this, 0, then 2, and then 6, and then 7. No, it's a continuous. That means continuous, right? No gaps can be provided, and that will be wrong. Now, third is homogeneous in nature. What is homogeneous? Homogeneous means if you are storing the element in integer form, then you have to store the element in a continuous way, but in a integer form only. You cannot do, let's say if here is 2, then here is 4.1. No, this is not allowed, right? Or you can say here is A, or here is A and then again 6. No, that is also not allowed. Only one type of data can be stored under the single element array and in a continuous form. Okay, so this is known as homogeneous in nature and similar. This is very important about array, similar data, continuous memory allocation, and homogeneous in nature. All right, now, and it is user defined. As I told you, that user can define it, how much memory, how many elements the user want to store. Okay, so it is completely depends upon the user, how much data that user wants, how many elements the user want to store in that particular memory location. Now see the another important thing, which is array declaration. How we declare this array? Okay, previously you have learned about the variables where you store the data, but what you have learned under a single variable, this is a variable, you can store only single element. Okay, that element could be any, but you can store only single value under that variable. But here what you have seen, that under the single variable you can store multiple elements. Okay, that is what it is saying, that under the single name, this. Okay, now see, and see, we have to declare the array like any other variable before using it. Here also, like before you were using, like if you want to store any element in a or in a B variable, then you need to define that element. Similar case also here also, in this also you have to declare the array like any other variable before using it. We can declare an array by specifying its name. You know that if you want to specify, you have to specify A before you're putting any element to it, assigning any element to it. Similar case also, we can declare an array by specifying its name, the type of its element, and the size of the dimension. When we declare an array in C, the compiler allocates the memory block of the specified size to an array name. Let's say you have defined, how you define, let's see, first understand that, then I'll tell you. See, the syntax of that is array data means data type, array data type, array name, and then size, and then semicolon. And size we need to define under the square bracket. Okay, how? Let's see, example I'll tell you. Let's say you're defining an array 1, whatever the name you want to say, give, you can give. Okay, array, and array here, and let's say 5. Okay, now this is the name you are given, array 1, and the size you are allocating 5 under the square bracket with semicolon, and now here I am providing int. This is data type. Now whatever the elements I will give to this array will be only of integer type, because the data type here I have taken as int. Okay, this could be float also, this could be character also, but now here we have taken this int. Now my compiler will allocate the chunk of memory of 5, right? Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here example, let's say the integer array type and 5, and data type is here int array. The name of the array is array 1, and the size is 5. Now, when the compiler see this, it will understand that it's a data type which the user going to store it with will be integer. Array name is 1 and the memory which the user has allocated is 5. Right? 5. Now see how 5? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be 5 because it is starting from 0. And this is very important to tell you that from 0 only we can start our location where we can store the elements. Right? Let's say and now user want to store here 10, 20, 30, 40 and then 50. Right? Now let's move further. Till now here is any confusion? Okay. Now see, array declaration, array of size is 5. I told you earlier also. The array will be allocated 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and these will be the indexes and this is memory allocation. Alright. Now see when now let's understand this with the help of the code, how the code will execute it. Alright. So see, array are static in nature. They are allocated memory at the compile time, right? At what time they allocate the memory? They are static in nature because once you have defined it at 5, it will remain 5 only, and they are located at the time of compile time. This is also one of the important points which you need to note down. It's located at the compile time, and this is static in nature. Now, see, we have to illustrate the array declaration. How? Let's see. Int main, all of you know. Declaring. How we declare the integers? Let's say int array. Array int will be the name of the array and 5. Now the 5 memory will be allocated to the array with the name of array int, right? Now declaring any array of character. If you want, I told you that this is the integer type. Now if you want to declare any array which is of character type and also an integer of float type, I'll tell you how. Same, see, the character also they have defined it. And if the float, if you want for character, what you need to do, you have to just place the type, data type, character, and then let's say array char. Right? Again, you want to any type of any memory size of memory you can define. And in the case of float array again. Right? Now here what? A character array will be defined with the memory of 10, 0 till 9. Right? Here also same. Float type 0 till 9. Alright. Now, moving to further, any confusion till here? Okay. Now, moving to further, we'll see an array initialization. How we till now we have seen how we declare. Now we'll see how we initialize that array. Initialization in C is a process to assign some values to the variable. Right? Let's suppose earlier what you used to do, we define the name int a, and then you assign the value a. Then you assign the element a value to a. Same case here also. Initialization in the C is a process to assign some initial value to the variable when the array is declared or allocated some memory. Memory is allocated. Now you need to put some elements inside that memory. When array is declared or allocated memory, the elements of the array contain some garbage value. Initially, what the value is there? It's a garbage value. No values are there, means garbage value. So we need to initialize the array to some meaningful value. There are multiple ways in which we can initialize an array in C. There are many ways how we can initialize the array. We'll see further. Now see, an array initialization with declaration. In this method, we initialize the array along with its declaration. We use an initializer list to initialize multiple elements of array. An initializer list is the list of values enclosed with braces. Right? what you have seen that earlier, in order to allocate the many, we use the square brackets. But to initialize the values to it, we use curly braces. Alright, see how? Let's say array, and let's say you have defined 5. And in this case, you need to do what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now this will be closed with some semicolon. Now these 5 elements will be inside that memory of 5. Clear? See, if you give these elements or those elements, then this will be allocated inside the memory. Okay. Now see, here you have mentioned the size. You can see 5. Right? Now see, if you declare without size, then what happens? If you initialize an array without using an initializer list, means the list you will not provide, then we can skip the declaring the size of an array, as the compiler can automatically reduce the size of the array in these cases. Means if you are not going to define, then at the time of defining or when you are putting the elements, then compiler will automatically adjust the size, whatever the size you are providing at the time of giving the elements. Let's say if you have not provided the size, then if you are providing any 3, then it will take the memory size as 3 or 4 or 4. See how the size of the array in these cases is equal to the number of elements present in the initializer list, as the compiler can automatically reduce the size of an array. Let's say if you have not provided this number, well, in this case, if you have just put in add and this is blank, and 5 elements if you have provided, then array will automatically, the meaning of this means array will automatically reduce its size as 5. Okay. Now, array initialization after declaration or using loops means if you want that user in the starting, they have not provided the array number or elements inside the array, they want user to input those elements according to whatever he or she feels. Well, in that case, how we declare or how we initialize the array, we'll see. We initialize the array after the declaration by assigning the initial value to each element individually. We can use loop, while loop or do while loop to assign the value to element of the array. And we already know how we run that loops, because we have learned that loops in our previous lectures. So let's see. Let's say element of the array, for example. How? See, let's suppose you want to put the array with 5 elements. Well, in this case, what you need to do? For loop I is equals to 0. Because 5 elements. Okay. Then what you need to do? Because 0, then 5 I plus, right? Yeah. Scanf A of I. Yeah, whatever the name you want to give. Array A of I. Okay. Alright. Means if you run the loop from 0 to 5, and accordingly in the array of I elements, and then the array of 5 elements will be created. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then whenever the I comes, let's say 0, then 0. Whatever the user want to put, let's say 2, then 2, 10, 30, whatever the user wants, and then 80. Okay. And this is how we initialize or we declare the elements with the help of user or with the help of loop, right? Now see the program to demonstrate any initialization included. Okay, int array. See the initialization. We have initialized the array. Now array initialization using initializer list without specifying the size. Here we have not defined the size, but we have initialized the elements. Here array will automatically, or compiler will automatically deduce whatever will be the size of this array list. Okay. Now using loop, float, yeah, elements of float will be declared int I 5 array 2. Let's say the name of the array is array 2, I float 2, I into 2 and I. Okay, fine. Any problem? Now what is the access array elements? Access means how to get those elements, how to display those elements, right? We can access any element of an array in C using the array subscript operator. Subscript of this is this operator. Okay, and the index value of I of the element, we'll put that index, and that whatever the position we want to fetch that element, we can put that and we'll get that